This is the 1970 Chevy Nova that has been in the background of my videos for about 2.5 years, 3 years, something like that. It has been about a year since I have made a video. Life gets in the way, things happen, things change. You lose motivation. So recently started getting back into this car. This has been in the background of the videos for a while, as you may or may not know. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But what we are doing is we are building a twin turbo LS 1970 Chevy Nova. That has kind of been the goal since I bought this car. The majority of this video is kind of bring you up to speed on where we're at. So again, I've had it for about 2.5, 3 years. I didn't do anything to it other than tear it apart. I brought this car home from Georgia. I don't think I even drove it. I immediately yanked out it had a 327 and a turbo 350 trans in it. I yanked that out, I sold it, and there it sat for quite a while. I had a dually I had a Corvette that I rebuilt, the LSS10, you know, all that kind of took place while this car sat right where it's at. Last year, this time, January of 2022, I really started digging into this car. I did not do any filming because I was trying to get it done for a drag and drive event. Well, if any of you are into this stuff, which most of you probably are, you know that parts were hard to get. I didn't get it done because I couldn't get the parts in time. So I kind of, you know, lost a lot of my motivation, and the car sat for about 6 to 8 months while I didn't do anything with it. So now that obviously the event did not happen, I want to build this car. I want to put it back on the YouTube here and try to enjoy myself with it again. I kind of went backwards a little bit. I wanted to, you know, put a full cage in it and all that kind of stuff because, again, I wanted to build it for drag and drive. But that is somewhat changed. At this point, I want to get the car running and driving. I want to enjoy it. So let me flip the camera around, kind of show you where we're at with the car, what I've done, what I've built. All right, so the car started life as a 1970 Chevy Nova with a 4-cylinder automatic bench seat, originally a vinyl top car. And when I bought it, it had a cage that was built in probably the 80s that I immediately cut out because it was not well done whatsoever. The floor pan was completely rotted out of it. Like I said a minute ago, it had a 327 mild cam, just a basic Holly carb, and a turbo 350 trans. Yanked that out, sold it on the old Facebook. One thing led to another, and I went real deep real quick. So this car currently has what started out as a 5.3, still is a standard bore 5.3, but it does have forged Wiseco pistons, Texas speed rods, Texas speed crank, PRC heads, the Holly high ram, Motion Raceworks throttle body. We're running the Holly mid-mount setup. If you watch my videos at all, this is actually the mid-mount setup that came off of the LSS10. I didn't want to give that away. That was too nice of a piece to give away, so I kept that. I built this motor. It's got I think a sloppy stage 2 cam. It wasn't supposed to go that deep, but you know how things do. You just kind of you just kind of keep going down that rabbit hole, and here we are. Originally, it was going to be just a standard cam swap and run what you brung kind of thing. So we're running the full Holly swap system. It's got the 302-2 pan, I believe. I think that's right. You probably already know which one I'm talking about. The Blackheart mounts. It's running a 4L80E transmission from Transmission Specialties. Supposed to be their street strip build. Come with a 10-inch converter. Should be around 3,200 RPM stall-ish. Blackheart mounts for the trans. Wheelwood master cylinder. Borgenson quick turn steering box. And what you kind of see is we went with a full Ride Tech coilover system. I yanked this subframe out completely, you know, wire wheeled it down, repainted it real nice. New core support, new fenders, we're repairing all the rust. I'm going quick because there is a lot that has been done to this car off camera. So I want to just kind of bring everybody up to speed before we dive right into what we will be doing going forward. So we currently have all the 4-link stuff for the Ride Tech kit set in here. It is still running the standard factory monoleaf rear suspension that will be coming out. I was going to leave it for class reasons, but I think I've got the bolted-in 4-link. We're going to rock it. We'll get back there in a minute. So let's go back up here. You know, we are going to be running air conditioning. You know, I want to cruise in the car. I want to be able to go fast, and I want to be able to drive it home comfortably. So that's kind of the route I've taken here. We smoothed the firewall using a Detroit Speed panel that I welded in and filled, and it looks very nice. Very happy the way that turned out. The car was clearly stripped when I bought it, so, you know, I've had to replace some things, you know, like the inner fenders, pretty much the entire interior. I've got a full TMI interior that I had made last April that will be going in here. You may see we've got the Motion Raceworks lightweight steering column with their new quick release steering wheel. We're getting to all that good stuff. Low carb throttle pedal with the Motion Raceworks cable. What else have we done? Clearly I've started to strip the car. Most of the car is in bare metal. Some of the stuff that was too bad to fix, I just replaced, like the fenders. There is going to be some patches needing done back here in the back. This side, someone did an old school type pop rivet patch. We're going to replace that and do it correctly. It had a fuel cell. So there's the hole. We're going to put a new trunk pan in it to clean that up. The rear deck lid filler panel was completely rusted out, so I've got a new one of those. I've got it cut out. I need to get it welded in. That'll be coming, not this video, but very soon. Some of the window channel, this side's actually in good shape. That side, not so much. That will be redone. We've got a box of more Ride Tech stuff. They're brand new subframe connectors are going to be going in this car. What you may have noticed, or you may not have, but now you're going to, is I have a nice set of American Racing wheels up front with Willwood 6-piston brakes, and we've still got some old school welds up back here in the back. And that is because originally somebody had changed out the rear end. It is now running a 9-inch Ford, which I will be keeping. I think it's running 456 gear right now with a full spool. We will be changing that to a more standard posi unit with maybe like a 370 gear or somewhere around there. But I can't put those wheels in the back to match yet, because whenever they swapped this in, they left the Ford bolt pattern on the axles. So when I bought the car, we had Ford bolt pattern in the back and 5 on 4 3/4 in the front, which is the standard Chevy pattern. So I've rambled through a lot of information at you really quickly, and I think I did it pretty well. I've probably forgotten a lot of things that I've already done, but that's irrelevant. What matters is what we're going to do going forward. I bought a off-the-shelf twin-turbo kit built for a 68 to 74 Nova. It was mocked up on a 74, which there is a little bit of differences, obviously, with the front bumpers and front ends and stuff like that. If you are into Novas, you know that. It was a CX Racing kit, and I don't know how I feel about it. It was like $3 or something like that for the whole thing. Come with some CX Racing China turbos and the full hot side, cold side, front mount intercooler. So actually the hot side looks really nice. Full stainless, bolts up nice, fits nice. The flanges were nice and flat. Actually, this side's still in, and what it does is it puts the turbos about right here and right here, which would be fine. However, the downpipes that was made off the 74 was made off a 74 that had what I assumed to be a manual steering box, and there is no way it's going to fit back there. So I was going to have to redo that anyway. Okay, no problem. We'll move on from that. Well, then we start getting into the cold side. The cold side was built using a standard LS1 intake. Obviously, this is the Holley High Ram. I did not originally have the Trick Performance slim mount intercooler, air-to-water intercooler setup, but we went to that because the CX Racing cold side that had the front mount intercooler, I thought I thought it was very sloppily done. First of all, I was going to have to do some modification to quite possibly the core support as well as the front bumper. I really wasn't interested in doing that. And then with the Holley mid-mount setup, which is about truck spacing, but the power steering pump kind of got in the way of the way they decided to route this cold side piping. So I didn't like that. It did not work the way I wanted it to. It was going to be a mess, and it just wasn't very well done. So at this point, what am I using? I was going to use the hot side, and I still might use the hot side. I actually just got some good old eBay up and forward $150 turbo headers because I'm thinking they may make it a little easier to route clearly the merge for the cold to go directly into the intake, as well as the downpipes. If you notice, these are obviously up and forward, but they're canted at an angle. You know, the eBay units will come straight out. However, right before I started the camera, I'm where they're going to be hitting the AC lines. So we're going to find that out here, probably on camera, actually, and go from there. But I'm trying to find the easiest, most efficient, clean way to do this. I want it to look good. I want it to be easy to work on, take apart if I need to, and run well, right? I mean, that's the name of the game. It's got to be a fun car to drive and run very well. It will be using the Terminator X Max, which for the transmission control. I've already got the engine harness ran. I have not ran the transmission harness yet. I want to do something a little different with that, but we'll get to that. All right, that brings you up to speed as much as I'm going to be able to, at least within the 10 to 12 minutes that I've been sitting here rambling at the camera, talking to you fine people. Now it's time to start building the car with you. So I think what we're going to do today is get this other CX Racing passenger side header off, and we're going to mock up these eBay headers. I kind of want to see A, if they'll work, B, where they're going to put the turbo, and just kind of what do I have to work with here. So yeah, let me yank this header off. Let me get these eBay units mounted up, and we'll come back and show you kind of how that looks and what we think. So we got them mocked up. There's a few things I like and a few things I don't like. So first thing that I like the turbo position using the eBay headers much more than I do the CX Racing headers. Simply because it's much more of a straight out and down. A little tweaked on this side, straight out, kind of in that little hole. And it also kind of gives me the flexibility that if I decide I wanted to maybe do some out the bottom of the fender headers or some bullhorns or something like that, this kind of puts the turbos in a much better position for that, in my opinion. Some things I don't like. I do not like how close it puts it to the front of the core support. You know, if I'd kept it there, I would probably put some more holes in the front of the core support just because, but that's minor. The bigger thing here, because I really want my air conditioner. It gets really hot and muggy up here in the Midwest, so I can't use the manifold with the Sandin SD7 from Holley as is. There's not enough room here for the fittings from Vintage Air. I did a quick Google search and I didn't really see anything that would allow me to move it the other way. I don't know. So I'm asking you, the viewer, who may be more knowledgeable than I, for suggestions. Do you know of a workaround here? Is there maybe a different compressor that I can use? This is 2-bolt style. I don't know if there's others that use the same thing, but I need to figure this out. If I cannot use this and use my AC, if I can't route AC lines, I will not go this route as far as headers are concerned. I even thought maybe going as far as using this one on the driver's side and using the CX Racing header on the passenger side, because the passenger side I have plenty of room. That's not an issue. But if I am able to make this work, this plumbing here will be super simple. I'm still deciding how I want to route that, but you know, if I just use this standard Y, which is 2.5 into 3, I mean, that's pretty much a straight shot on that side and maybe a 45 on that side. Super, super simple. And it looks like there definitely will be plenty of room for the radiator that I'm going to use. I hope. I have 2 radiators. The one that came with the car, I don't like. It ain't going to work. It's too wide. The one I bought for the car, turns out it ain't going to work either. So we're probably going to go with the Summit package. They have one on there that when I measure it out, everything should work nicely. There should be plenty of room in here. Anyway, I'm rambling again. What I really want to know is I want your opinion. How do you think these eBay headers are going to work? Do you think they're going to fit? Do you think they'll do what I need? But most of all, is there a workaround for the AC compressor? Because like I said, if there's not, these got to go. If I can make it work, clearly I'm not going to be able to mount the coils like that. I guess I could. I just have to kind of route the wires back and around, but I do have some remote mounts if I decide to go that route. I will need to use a different dipstick. Again, minor detail, but yeah. So this video has been a lot of talking, a lot of bringing up to speed. We got these headers mocked up. What I really want to do now is get this uploaded, get some feedback. Hopefully you have some feedback or some suggestions, and we'll go from there. I'm going to keep working on this. We'll start doing some more videos. Hopefully I can maybe get one out a week. That would be nice. It's sometimes hard, you know, life gets in the way. You got work schedules, things like that. It's nice having a little bit more motivation, get here in the garage and play, right? So I think that'll do it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.